A legal showdown just played out in an appeals court this afternoon. Attorneys representing Governor Gavin Newsom and President Donald Trump battled it out over whether the president has the authority to send thousands of National Guard troops into Los Angeles without the governor's permission.
CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal joins us live from downtown. Kelly, you watched this hearing online. What happened?
That's right, and this hearing went on for about an hour. A panel of judges listened to attorneys from both sides and at the end indicated that a decision could be coming within a matter of days. So here is some of what we heard during today's hearing.
Federal personnel continue to face sustained mob violence in Los Angeles, expressly aimed at preventing federal officers from enforcing federal law.
They circumvented the governor, who did not receive the order and who certainly did not issue it.
Attorneys faced a lot of questions from the panel of 3 judges at the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. The attorney for President Trump was questioned about how far does the president's power go.
The Supreme Court recognized, yes, Marbury versus Madison says the court decides what the law is, but it also respects that principle when a court recognizes that when a statute is delegating broad discretion to the president, that respecting that also is a judgment that a court should respect.
Meanwhile, the attorney for Governor Newsom argued the president didn't need to go to such extreme measures in sending in the National Guard to Los Angeles so quickly. He could have at the very least consulted with the governor before doing all of this.
There at least needs to be some consideration of whether there are more modest measures than calling for the National Guard.
He pointed to an amicus brief filed by retired military generals, former secretaries for the Army and Navy, who sided with the governor in saying the military should not be part of the protests in Los Angeles. And if you give the president this authority, you risk politicizing the military. Listen to what Judge Jennifer Sung said in response to that.
Counsel, that brief seemed to offer a lot of reasons why the president's decision should have been counseled against, and that they wouldn't have agreed with it, that it's bad for policy, let's say. But I think it stopped short of saying the president couldn't do that.
So what decision will this panel come to? We're just going to have to wait and see. Now, the panel did indicate from the Ninth Circuit, that is, did indicate that there is a hearing set for Friday before Judge Charles Breyer, who was the original trial judge in this case. So the panel indicated they're aware of that hearing. So it's possible we could get a decision from that panel before then. Anna and Carlo?
So what was your impression listening to the hearing, Kelly?
Well, it was very obvious that the judges were very focused on case law as well as statutes. They were not swayed at all to take a modern interpretation to some of the previous case law. At one point, the governor for the attorney kind of tried to argue and say, do we really want the military involved with civilian affairs? And one of the judges said, that's a good argument to say for the U.S. Supreme Court, which we certainly know this case could possibly end up there.
So just another step potentially in this legal fight. Kelly Hessedal reporting live for us. Thanks, Kelly.